Welcome to Basic Brewing Video. I'm James Spencer.
I'm Steve Wilkes.
Today, it's a tale of two porters.
It was the best of beers and it was the worst of beers.
Hopefully not.
But we hope they're both pretty good.
Yeah, hopefully it's the best of beers and the best of beers.
And that's kind of a tongue twister.
Which leads us into the names of our beers.
Hey, what do you got?
I got a cocoa powder porter.
I got a chili pepper porter. We think it's funny. We hope you do too.
Of course, this is the second show that we've taped today. So
Yeah, so we're just going to talk about porters.
yeah, we're going to talk about porters and how versatile they are. Because I went one way, kind of sweet way,
Yes, you did.
and you went the other way.
Hot and spicy.
So, what Steve is pouring now is my cocoa powder porter. And my goal with the cocoa powder porter was to crack Steve up, but also to make a low gravity yet satisfying beer. And this beer is 3.9% alcohol. It's a 4-gallon batch, 5 pounds of 2-row, 8 ounces of chocolate malt, 8 ounces of 60 Lovibond Crystal, 4 ounces of Hershey's cocoa powder added in the last 4 minutes of the boil. And why 4 ounces? Because that's what I had.
Okay.
1 ounce of Czech Saaz at 60 minutes and 0.55 ounces of U.S. Tettnang at 15 minutes. So original gravity of 1044, and it went down to 1014. So talk about porters. Why are porters so versatile? I mean, why can you add fruit? Why can you add coffee? Why can you add chocolate and peppers to this style?
I think it's because the basic style of beer, which is welcoming, I guess I'll put it that way, invites a lot of flavors to come with it. I mean, you can put the kitchen sink in this stuff. I mean, a basic porter, is a base malt, 2-row Maris Otter or something like that, and some chocolate malt and some black patent malt in some formulation, and they tend to be low gravity beers. They were really, brewed to be drunk during lunch by the porters at the British rail system. So it's not a beer that you want to sit around and get blasted on. There's something about that kind of roasty, malty flavor that these things have, and they're low hop beers. They don't have a giant hop thing going at you. So they kind of invite brown sugar into them. They invite all kinds of herbs into them and spices. Cocoa, in your case. I mean, chocolate works great in these. Coffee works great in these. Chilies work great in these. So, and I'm always surprised at how much women like these beers. Because they're dark and they look like, oh my gosh.
Yeah.
But the flavors are just wonderful. And so, I don't know, they're fun to play with and they're easy to make.
So what do you think about this beer?
I think it's great. And what I like about it is I can really taste the chocolate. And this was not, I just want to make sure I understand, this was not sweetened cocoa powder like this is quick.
No.
This is baker's, what you bake with.
Yeah, it is cocoa powder as in the stuff that you don't want to eat by the spoonful. When I grew up, I used to eat Nestle's Quick Powder right out of the box. And I made the mistake when I was older of taking a spoonful of Hershey's cocoa powder, and I nearly died.
Yeah.
Because it's like eating talcum powder. And I started breathing the stuff, and I couldn't get my breath, and I started coughing, and big brown clouds of cocoa powder were coming out. I nearly died.
Well, what I like about this beer is that it's very clean. It's very refreshing. It does have a really nice chocolate note to it. It's got a little bit of a roastiness to it. Kind of a little bit of a coffee flavor. That there's no coffee in it, but I definitely would ascribe a flavor of coffee to it.
So 4 ounces of Hershey's cocoa powder for this 4-gallon batch in the last 5 minutes. Just enough to put just a bit of the chocolate flavor.
And this would be great for a dessert beer, even though it's a light beer. This would be, pair this up with a chocolate brownie. Killer.
So,
absolutely.
While we got time, why don't we talk about your beer? Let's rinse a little bit. You want me to rinse? You start talking about your beer, I'll rinse.
Okay.
Teamwork.
This beer is a chili porter And let me tell you what's in it. This has 8 pounds of Maris Otter. It has a half a pound of chocolate malt. It has a quarter of a pound of black patent malt and 1 pound of victory malt.
What size batch? 5 gallons?
5 gallons. It also has a pound of brown sugar, and we want to pour.
I'll pour.
And it's got a pound of brown sugar. It also has added at the end of the boil, like the last 10 minutes of the boil, I added 5 Morita chilies, M-O-R-I-T-A, Morita, and 2 Guajillo chilies. The Morita chilies are ripe, dried, smoked jalapenos. So
Ripe,
yeah.
dried,
So in other words, they've turned
smoked.
red, so they're
So-
ripe. They're not green.
So how's that different from a chipotle?
The chipotle pepper is a green jalapeno, an unripe jalapeno pepper, and typically chipotles are sold in a adobo sauce. So the Morita is a ripened jalapeno, and then it was dried and smoked. So there are 5 of those in a 5-gallon batch.
And where'd you put those in the beer? Oh, man. Where'd you put those in the beer?
What do you mean? You mean at what time?
In the boil.
About the last 10 minutes of the boil.
Okay.
So I didn't dry pepper them and
Right.
put them in after the like in a secondary. I put them in at the end of the boil. And really, I have to admit that was kind of a lazy. I kind of did that because I just knew I wasn't going to have time to let it set on a secondary. So I just did it this way.
Oh my goodness. There's enough heat to make it interesting, and there's a little bit of that smoke with that pepper, and then with the base of the porter underneath. This is one of my favorite of your beers. This is
Good.
really, really good.
I love it.
So did you talk about hops or?
Not yet. 1.5. Not yet. 1.5 ounces of Fuggles at 60 minutes, 1 ounce at 30 minutes, and 1/2 ounce at 10 minutes. It started out, the original gravity is 1065. It finished at 1014. Y yeast 1028, so just English ale yeast.
Oh, and my yeast was USO5, by the way, the Saf Ale USO5.
And I came up with 6.3 ABV.
Ooh.
So 2 really different beers, but still porters.
Right.
And if you were to drink these side by side, you would still say, that's a porter, that's a porter.
That's right.
But they're different beers.
So, the lesson for today,
Drink more beer.
and play with your porters.
Come and visit us on the web. At basicbrewing.com, you can find archive lists of both our audio and video podcasts on home brewing. You can also find our DVDs, Introduction to Extract Home Brewing, Stepping into All Grain, Low-Tech Lagering and Decoction Mashing, and our latest edition, Introduction to Wine Kits. Drop us a line. We'd love to hear from you. Write to james@basicbrewing.com, steve@basicbrewing.com, or just use the contact form on basicbrewing.com.
There's just less and less of that to go around.